family, welcome back. Thank you for being here. If you're new, if you're old, if you're a subscriber, if you're just watching this, thank you guys so much for being here. I appreciate you all, and it just makes this community so awesome and so warm with so much thoughts and energy, so thank you. I also want to say thank you for giving this video a thumbs up and for sticking your comments and conversations below. I think it's amazing that we're all inspired to share our thoughts and our ideas and tips here on this channel, so thank you for participating. Today I am going to do a quick Q&A. You guys have had some great questions as far as the latest videos and other videos on this channel. The first one being, is there poop in my washer? I think I covered this in the last Q&A, but just so that we get this like in the clear, no, there is no poop in the washer. If you watch the entire video on how we don't use toilet paper as well as the Q&A, I want to say to you guys that it's super, super important to do the water squirt thing so that you're not smudging any poop on your towels. It's so important. Also, for those of you guys that are cloth diapering, I want to know in the comments below how you get over the idea of washing your baby's cloth diapers in the washer, because we do know that they do poop in there, and even when they get older and start eating solid foods, I definitely washed my cloth diapers after rinsing them, of course, but still there are those feces particles in the washer. You guys also talk about the complexity of the system. Yes, it is more of a complicated system. You can get away with just the bidet and just some towels, and that's basically what we do outside from the pooping system. Sometimes I get a little lazy and I don't really want the cold water squirting and I'm in a rush, so I will just dab myself dry with a towel or spray it off a little bit to feel a little bit cleaner. But I wanted to give you guys all the options, and also the options that we utilize in this house, because we are a little bit toilet paper spoiled. So it just helps make the transition a little bit easier and make it feel a little bit more just like the toilet paper situation without being so uncomfortable or so just like in the deep end right away. But yes, ultimately just water and just some towels could be really, really good. And when we went to Ohio, I thought I brought the bidet, just a little hand bidet system that we have, and I didn't, so I ended up using some of the water bottles that we had purchased on our drive, the one with the spouts that you can pull up, and we ended up using that instead, and it worked just fine. I want to thank Key Is Me for this super long questions, but it was really good. I felt like it was so good that I pinned it, and I even took the time to answer it at the top of the house tour video. I think I was touring my bedroom and closet, but I did want to put it here because I'm sure a lot of you guys have these questions or thoughts, and I just thought it was really, really good. So she had a list of items that she was wondering whether I had or where it was, or if I was not showing everything. And I think the only thing that I really didn't show was the washroom as well as the garage. So the thing that she said was she hasn't seen a toolbox. We do have a toolbox. It's a small toolbox, and that is in the washroom. We don't really have very many tools. We used to carry a lot more when we had an old car, and this was something that we decided recently to buy a new car because we didn't want to spend all the time in the tools, and plus we're in a space where it's really hard to work mechanically on a car, so we ended up buying a new car this time around. She does ask about the car. We do have one car. We share one family car. It's our van. A lot of you guys that have followed me on social media know that I was super stoked about Enterprise. This is not sponsored, but we bought Enterprise. So it's not brand new car. It is like a used car, but I love it because I don't really believe in buying brand new cars necessarily. So I love it because they keep the top 3% of their cars that are less than a year or two old, and then they take those to sell and auction off the rest, and they had really great service. So that's the only reason I'm telling you guys about this, because I really had a great experience with them, and I just want to thank them by letting you guys know and bringing them more business. The next question she had was hand-me-down clothes or extra clothes. This was something that I kind of talked about in the last video about understanding my grandparents and the hoarding aspect of going through war and now going through like the hurricane myself and having to sort of think about it. All the clothes that you see or saw is what the kids own. And I learned from this because we go to Ohio and we didn't really have any cold weather clothes. Fortunately, it wasn't so cold there that it was a big deal, but it did get me thinking, gosh, like if we had to get up and go and it was the middle of winter and we're leaving Florida, like not every place is as warm as Florida, so it'd be good to keep some extra clothes. For most of our clothes, when the kids are done with them, we keep what the next kid, or Elevie, because she's the only next kid, but we keep what she'll use, and then we donate the rest to friends and family. And if anybody shares their hand-me-down clothes with us, we take only what we're gonna use and then get rid or share the rest. And so I did start to think about hoarding, or like keeping just a couple more items in case any of those situations occur. And like the girls only literally have like one thick jacket and one light jacket, and it'd be nice to have maybe two just in case. And so that's something that I've thought about. But what you did see is what the girls have. There are no extra clothes outside of that. She also asked about extra blankets or sheets. If you look in my closet, they're right above my clothes. Those are literally all the extra blankets and sheets that we have. We use quilts, not comforters, so they fold up really small, and we only have one guest bed here. When they come, we do have a queen size bed that we put out that they're able to sleep on, and there are extra pillows up there too. Camping gear, we only have backpacks. Those are in the garage. We have the backpacks that we use from New Zealand. They're the same two backpacks that we've had ever since before the kids, and that's what we have, and that's it. We don't have camping tents or pots or pans or anything like that. If you've noticed in our past camping videos, we sleep in the car, and that is literally because we don't camp enough to care to get sleeping bags and tents. So we just make our little bed in the car using all our quilts and stuff. We put our jackets on, and that's how we camp. The next items that she asked about is my makeup stash. I showed you guys my makeup stash in the bathroom tour. That is all my makeup. If it wasn't for my job, I wouldn't have that much makeup. I probably would only have a few items, if that, but I do work in commercial, and I'm the face in a lot of these commercials and photos, so I do have that makeup, but that's all of it. I don't have any more than that, as well as car or bike parts. I told you the car was in the garage. We have our bikes in the garage as well. We've had these bikes since Utah, and these are really, really special to us. They are like probably one of our favorite items that we have, and the kids and Brat use them every single day. I don't use the bike as much because I'm typically working, but it's something that we really do enjoy, so we do have those bikes. So some of the items that she requested was some potted plant supplies. We have a few under the kitchen sink now. We didn't have plants when I did the tour because we just moved. I don't have any holiday decorations or scrapbooks or photo albums. We are 100% purely a digital memory family. It's just the generation that I'm in. I used to try to scrapbook. I'm not very good at it. I'm better at making video albums, or back in the day, that's what I called them before vlogs. And so we have all our memories here, thanks to you guys. It's like one of the biggest gifts ever. I never expected to like vlog every day as a new parent, and you guys really inspired that. So it's like the best memories that I could ever have. Like, I don't need a scrapbook. We don't really have a medicine cabinet. You guys saw the supplements that were in my pantry. I do have an emergency thing, and that is literally just extra consumables and some certain things like pain relievers or fever reducers that we put in a tub. I know some of you guys were asking for that. If you are interested, let me know. I want a little bit more interest in like emergency supplies. If you guys are interested, stick it in the comments below. Also, I don't have a filing cabinet. I digitalize a lot of my paperwork, my receipts. I do have a small filing magazine rack type thing and in my office, and that keeps some of the fresh paperwork that I need to have on hand. But other than that, I typically tend to make everything very digital. It makes it so easy to move, so easy to organize and find. You just keep them on some hard drives and some cloud storage. I don't keep any like information sensitive stuff on cloud, so I tend to duplicate my hard drives. And when we had to leave for Irma, it was super, super easy to pick up a couple hard drives and stick it in my backpack rather than having this huge filing cabinet of paperwork to have to worry about. She's asking about kitchen and bathroom rugs. You guys saw the rugs that we have. We have 2 in every bathroom, that's it. We don't have kitchen rugs. Typically what we do is we stick a towel down on the ground, and if there's any splash or water, we just wipe it up. At the end of the day, we always sweep and mop and wipe all the counters down. So that's just the system that works for us. She asked about the kids. We're homeschooled. The kids don't have a lot of toys, and I thought this was a really good question because yes, the kids don't have a lot of toys, and a lot of people are concerned that their childhood's being taken away from them. But the truth of the matter is, with our kids, when they had more toys and more things to entertain themselves with, they were more entitled, easily bored, and super, super demanding compared to when they have less and they have to be creative. Creativity is a skill, and it also takes time to do or to roll out an effect. And so when the kids want to, say, make a tent or a house, it takes them extra time to pull the stools out, take some sheets, put that together, set up their stuffed animals. They've got cardboard and recyclable things everywhere that Brett likes to collect, and they make art out of this. And this consumes a lot of their playtime during the day. And once everything's all set up, they play. And they do all these things out of imagination and creativity, and we found it to be a lot healthier and more productive. And yes, we homeschool, so we have a pretty regular schedule from the time they wake up till about 2 or 3 p.m. They spend 2 to 3 hours a day outdoors. Some of it is constructive activity like learning how to swim or learning new skills, doing some exercise, or like toddler boot camp stuff that Brett likes to put together. Fun things like taking a jog with the dog or getting the slack line out and he'll help them balance. Just certain skills that are being developed physically with the body. The girls also participate in regular extracurricular activity. Love is in mixed martial arts and jiu-jitsu 5 days a week for about 90 minutes a day. So this schedule, along with all of the things that we put together, plus the homeschooling time that we do, takes up most of the day. So they don't really have much idle time. They do have designated free times, and then at the end of the day, of course, we come together as a family and spend our time together there. So there's really not a crazy amount of time to play with toys, and when it comes to their free time on a daily basis, they typically don't choose the toys. The next question I thought was really good. She asks, when do I get my work done? And I really hate to admit this, but since we moved from Hawaii to here, I haven't had to work as much to maintain the same lifestyle because it's not as expensive to live here. So I've really only been working part-time, and that is something that was not the plan. The plan was that I continue to work just as much so that we can continue to build our retirement and to build the college fund for the kids and all this stuff. But so lately I haven't been working as much, but typically I do the morning with Brett and the kids. We do our breakfast and we do the first learning time together, and then after that they go out and do their activity, and that's when Brett takes them, and then I stay here and I do my work, and then we have lunch together again. Then I continue my work until about 3, 4, sometimes I go to 4, and typically I'll do that about 4 days a week, ideally. Meaning I haven't been really good at that. I've been doing that maybe 2 days a week and then having some half days. So ideally I would do that about 4 or 5 days a week, and we're all at home together, and he does field trips, so he'll take them out to different parks or to nature reserves, and they do sort of a learning time there. And it's really been a lot of fun to incorporate homeschool and do science experiments and like take that out into the real world, as well as being able to choose and dedicate time together throughout the day so that I'm not just gone out of the house and they don't see me the whole day. But I do typically tend to work in between those times. So a couple more questions. One is dishes. What do our guests eat off of when we have them here, because we don't have very many dishes? We have not yet hosted more than 2 guests at a time, and we actually utilize our salad bowls and our mixing bowls and everything else for ourselves. We let the dishes or the dishware go to our guests, and then if we need extra bowls, me and my family don't mind utilizing the extra dishware or storage. Like we have storage bowls and we have salad bowls that we will use for ourselves. We're bowl people, so we do actually have kind of a lot of bowls. So we haven't run into that problem yet. She also asked about my piano books. I do have a lot of piano books. Back in Hawaii, some of you guys may remember I did have a piano. I sold that because it just was easier to do than to ship it out here. I do hope in the future at some point that I will get a piano. I haven't had as much time or dedicated as much time to that. There are other things that I've been more interested in lately as far as that's concerned. So I don't know when I'm going to get a piano, but sooner than later. I know the kids, we're gonna want them to learn music as part of their curriculum as well. So that's probably likely when we'll get the piano again. As far as books, I have a lot of books, but we go to the library every single week, and that is a great resource for us to not keep so many books. The girls have some books, I have some books, but I don't like to keep more than what's on my shelf. And typically when I'm done reading a book, I like to gift it or hang on to it for somebody that I feel like could use it or might enjoy it, so I like to pass them along. And the far majority of my books is on Kindle. I recently purchased a Kindle just so I can read a little bit easier. I was reading them on the computer or the phone, and that just gets really hard on the eyes, so small, and you have the phone up here. So the Kindle is just a lot easier for me to read on, and I don't mind it because it's not lit up, it feels like you're reading a book. There are certain books that I do like having in my hand and turning the pages and highlighting. So it all just depends, and those are typically the books that I keep, or the books that people give me, like physical books, but I only keep what's on my shelf. This is pretty much all I keep here in the office as far as physical books go. I have some of these fun older books that were just inherited or passed down from Brett's mom and dad. And then, yeah, outside of that, we do all the digital books and library books. So as you can see, it was a really good question because it was super, super detailed and thorough. I hope you guys get some insight out of that and appreciate it. If you guys have more questions or feel like I'm missing any more thoughts that you might have, stick them in the comments below. Make sure you give this video a thumbs up, and thank you again so much for being here. I will see you guys in the next video. Enjoy your weekend. Ciao.